Questions 3 through 5 are over solving using substitution. We've been practicing this in class, so if you can do them without watching the video, go ahead and do them, and then we can check them. But if you need some extra help, go ahead and watch this video. Okay, question 3, both equations are already solved for y. When both are solved for y, that means if they both equal the same thing, then they themselves are equal to each other. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it into the other equation for y. So it looks just like this. We draw in our river, check each side to see if there's any parentheses or like terms that need to be combined, and there isn't. So now we're just going to move all of our variables to one side. I like to move mine to the left. It doesn't really matter. So this negative 2x on the right, I'm going to add it to both sides so that it cancels on the right, and now all of my x's will be on the left. 2 plus 2 is 4x minus 18 equals 10. Then I ask myself, what's farthest away from x on the same side of the river? It's negative 18, so I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Cancels out. I have 4x equals 28. How do I undo the 4? I divide both sides by 4, so x equals 7. So now I have my x value, but remember when we're talking about a system of equations, we're talking about a point where they intersect, so an x and a y. So I'm going to take that x and I'm going to plug it into one of my equations up here so that I can find my y. So I have y equals 2 times 7, which is 14, minus 18, which is negative 4. So y equals negative 4. So my point of intersection is 7, negative 4. And that's my answer. That's all I have to do. On question 4, one of the equations is already solved for y, but the other one is not. So it's pretty different from number 3. We're going to take this and we're going to plug it in for y in the other equation. So I'm going to rewrite that second equation exactly how I see it, but in place of that y, I'm going to put a set of parentheses. And what am I going to put in those parentheses? 7x. And then I'm going to solve. So I have to go ahead and multiply these two things together. So this 8x isn't changing. Distribute that 4 to the 7x, which gives me 28x equals 0. Draw my river. I have like terms that can be combined. 8 and 28 give me 36x equals 0. And then to get x by itself, I'm going to divide by 36. So x equals 0. I have my x value. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to plug it into my equation that's solved for y. So y equals 7x. I'm going to plug 0 in for x. 7 times 0 is 0. So my equation is 0, 0. Or I'm sorry, my solution is 0, 0. Number 5, neither one of these are solved for y. So once again, pretty different from 3 and 4. So since neither are solved for x or y, I have to pick which one I'm going to solve. And I want to be kind of smart about what I choose to solve for. I'm looking for a variable that does not have a number in front of it, meaning its coefficient is 1. So either this or this, it doesn't matter. Since we've been working with y, I'm just going to go ahead and solve for y. So what we do is draw in our river. When we get y by itself, I need to subtract x. So y is going to equal negative x plus 8. So now that I have my y, since I solved equation 2, I'm going to plug it into the first equation. So where I see that y, I'm going to rewrite it, but in place of the y, I'm going to put a set of parentheses, and I'm going to plug in negative x plus 8. So now I have to multiply these two things together. 3x isn't involved in that, so it's just hanging out. I do negative 5 times negative x, which is positive 5x, and negative 5 times 8, which is negative 40. I still have these like terms to combine, so I'm going to combine those and get 8x minus 40 equals 0. Add 40 to both sides. So 8x equals 40, and then divide by 8. So x equals 5. So I have my x value. Now I just need to find my y. So I'm going to plug it into the equation that's solved for y, just like we did in the last one. Where I see an x, I'm putting in a 5. I have negative 5 plus 8, which is 3. So my solution is 5, 3. That's my answer.